I hope everybody is having a great day today. Thanks for watching this video. So I was going to do an episode of Master Your Glass about the Highball cocktail. I'm very fascinated by the culture and the tradition behind this drink, especially how it's being executed in Japan and then how that has trickled in to what's going on in the rest of the world. And my friend Bobby G, who you've seen on the show many times. Bobby, say hi to everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
So Bobby is, he works for Suntory, Beam Suntory, which obviously has deep roots and connections with Japan. And as I was picking his brain about what to do on the episode, he pointed out that this place right here, Sparrow and Wolf, has a toki machine. It's a special machine that helps you make a highball that is cool, fresh, fast, and well balanced. So we're gonna go check it out.
Hey,
what's happening?
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Bobby
Thanks
G.
for having us.
Good to see you, young man. Always good to have you on Sparrow and Wolf.
I appreciate you opening up the place early just for us today.
Our house is yours. Honestly, Sparrow and Wolf was, the brainchild of Chef Brian Howard, and putting it in the neighborhood meant that we were part of the community. So whenever we can be a part of the community, we jump on top of that.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well,
How you doing? What's your name?
David.
David, I'm Bobby G.
Cheers, sir.
Pleasure to meet you.
We always have five.
David, thanks for having us over here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so Bobby was telling me you guys have the toki machine, which I see.
It's a gorgeous machine. All of our chefs are actually hooked on this amazing sparkling water that comes out of it. It's like 7 times more carbonated than regular traditional sparkling water.
Yeah, I love it.
Super fuzzy.
I love it. And obviously the word on the street is you guys make a mean highball. Actually, the word on the street is that you make 2 maybe?
We make a couple sexy variations, but the traditional one is obviously the most popular, the one that we sell the most of.
Yeah, would you mind firing up 1 or 2 for us? Show us how you make it.
So this machine has a box underneath it.
Okay.
That super carbonates the water, chills and dilutes the whiskey. There you see it mixing together perfectly.
So the whiskey is in the...
It's cold already. It comes out of this side so that it creates minimal nucleation. We just top it with a little slice of lemon. I always ask people, in or out?
In. Why not?
There you go, brother.
Thank you.
The perfect toki highball. One for you as well, sir?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Love the bubbles.
See what they're doing here, Livio, is the whiskey itself is being chilled as well as the water. And then the water is being super carbonated. And they're being combined at a point of service, not below the bar. So they're coming up separate. He could actually pour you a chilled shot of whiskey and some of the highly carbonated water as well.
I like
So, David, speaking of the carbonation, do you have any just like standard soda water?
Plain
Fine.
sparkling?
Yeah, just plain soda
Just
water.
happen to have one right here.
Can I get it in a glass neat?
Of course.
And then pour me some of the soda water from the tower. Perfect. All right. Now, it's going to be hard for people to see, and we're going to tell them, hey, look at how big the bubbles are and how little the bubbles are here. So what I wanted to show is to take a little demonstration. Obviously, you can see the difference in those bubbles, right? See, look how many bubbles are coming up out of here. And this one is a fresh bottle that just opened from the store. And what I brought with me are some raisins.
Okay.
Now, what the raisins are going to do is they're going to show us the carbonation in the water, because we'll drop a raisin in here. We'll see how that falls right to the bottom. We see the bubbles coming up off of it. See how long it takes for that raisin to try and lift up off of the bottom. And here, if we drop one in with that carbonation, it pops right up. See how those bubbles, and that raisin's going to sit there and dance up and down.
Up and down all day.
Up and down. You see the difference of that carbonation.
That's interesting, fascinating.
It's pretty fun.
Very cool.
I learned that from Ian McCallan, who heads up our education department at Beam. He was a chief whiskey blender for Bowmore in Scotland, and came over and he brought this to me, and I go, how is something so simple so
Right.
fascinating for
Right.
us,
That's incredible.
So it just gives us
What I love about it too is, so in Japan, there's no two bars that actually make the highball the same way, right? Everybody has their own little trick, their own little way of doing it. But what is always consistent is you want your glass to be super cold, whether it's refrigerated cold or whether you put ice in it and you spin it for a really long time, or you put ice water in it and then you dump it. So cold glass. But then when you add your ice and you add your whiskey, before you top it with the soda, you stir it for a while because you want the whiskey to be cold and diluted before you add the soda in it.
Correct.
Great ritual, which is what I loved, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to film the highball. But this machine here, because the whiskey already comes out cold, right? You're getting the same result, but you're getting there a lot quicker.
Exactly.
Right? And in a lot with such more of a fascinating way.
And with everything being cold, the ice is going to stay cold as well. So
Right.
we're not putting anything warm to cause that ice to dilute, and you see the bubbles still rising from there, and they will stay in there, and it's very hydrating. You know, with those small bubbles, it's very.
I'm surprised this is still going on, by the way.
Sure.
This is, look at that. That's crazy. Even in old Italian beverage culture, the seltz was always added to any liqueur, any vermouth, because what it meant was it was going to bring up aroma. And so all these bubbles here, all they're doing is bringing up aroma.
Sure,
for me.
sure.
Yeah.
And when we make highballs, and technically the highball is a spirit in a mixer. Mm-hmm. We generally assume it's a carbonated mixer. Mm-hmm. And when we make that, say, my favorite drink is the BBG, mm-hmm. Bourbon, bitters, and ginger ale. We always, whenever we add that carbonation on the end, we want to give the one stir. Just by taking that bar spoon, laying the flat in, pushing those bubbles to the bottom,
Kind of folding
giving
it
it one turn, which allows all those bubbles to come up. And like you say, when they come up, they bring all of the aromatics with them.
Well, let's try this bad boy. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, David, that's really darn good.
Crushable.
It is.
Very crushable. And again, I think that was one of the deals with why this drink became so popular in Japan. I think it kind of phased off after the 70s, 80s. Then it came back up in 2000s. Is in Japan, they are a big beer drinking country. So their highballs are lower in alcohol. They're almost intended to be a beer competitor, but a more swanky way of drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Your foamy barley, I guess.
And when we look at the Japanese whiskey history there, the whiskeys were going down, and they were looking for a way to bring it back into popularity. And it was this machine and their partnership with Hoshizaki in Japan that built this machine for them. And the Hoshizaki had that technology. And they say, and I haven't had the opportunity to be in Japan yet, but they say every bar has one of these in it. Every single one.
That's incredible. David, what else you got for us?
So we have a couple different seasonal highballs we make. We're still have a couple from our winter menu going on. My favorite is the one that has Torino vermouth and bitters in it.
Ooh, that
but
sounds
sadly, it's the least popular because not everybody loves this vermouth as much as I do. So we have a couple other ones. One that's made with yuzu and coriander, and another that's made with a little bit of a chai demerara. Would you guys like to try them?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
So it's essentially the same classic highball, although because we had some more expensive ingredients, we make them a little bit smaller to keep them competitive. I just fill it up and we top it off with the mixers.
So it has the whiskey in it as well?
Yep, so the whiskey, this is the same highball that you just had, but what I'm gonna do is add chai to one. We just pour it right on top like that.
So are you able to disclose what is your secret chai recipe?
I'd have to check with the boss first.
But in essence, it's a chai syrup, is that
Yeah, it's basically a relatively potent chai tea
Got it.
mixed with Demerara on the backside.
Understood.
And then the other one is fresh yuzu and coriander simple syrup that's relatively basic. We just give it a quick little stir, like one does, as you mentioned. Get everything incorporated.
Very nice.
Then the yuzu one just gets a little slice of lemon to brighten it up. The chai, oh no, I lost my torch. Aha. Put a little cinnamon stick on it and just give it a slight toast.
Love it.
Wow. Okay.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
A popular method for the yuzu one is to add a little bit of the habanero tincture that we have here to give it a little spice, but
It's bright.
Crushable
especially
by
it
itself,
really brings
yeah.
that yuzu up. Those bubbles working
Yeah.
with that yuzu really bring it out. Maybe we'll give that one a try.
Same here, delicate is the flavor, right? It's tasty, but not in a cloying whatsoever way. Just really, really nice.
Oh, that light toasting on the cinnamon really brings those aromatics out on that.
brings it to life. We got some
Both
more
really good.
spring ones coming down the pipe pretty soon.
Got it. I love it. Yeah, both are really, really good. That's the culture of the highball, I guess. You know, it's
It's gone from something so basic to,
Right.
great bartenders and mixologists creating new things and
right.
just giving people a different way to enjoy it.
It's a gorgeous canvas.
It really is.
Very, very well said.
The descendant of the Scotch and soda has become the highball, the Japanese style highball, which is now a good canvas. I will ask you, just because you brought it up, and I am a vermouth freak, is there a chance we can get that Torino version?
We call it, you're looking at the man.
I like it. Yeah, because vermouth was often consumed with seltz.
Soda, yeah.
Seltz.
Oh,
And it
it's
was-
such a, I mean, honestly, I think vermouth is one of the world's most perfect beverages.
Yeah.
It's obviously Manhattan kind of like influenced.
Mm-hmm.
We use a fair amount of Angostura in it as well,
Nice.
but it's essentially bitters, vermouth.
I bet the Anglo people like that. One and a half, 1 3/4 full ounces of sweet vermouth.
One- yeah.
Torino, I can do that.
Yep, and I wasn't prepared for it. I usually top it with an orange twist, but
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. And again, I appreciate you guys
can-
opening the place up for us.
you can imagine.
Salute.
Cheers,
This
sir.
might be perfection right here. It just might be perfection. Oh yeah.
Like I said, that's what I would drink if I was sitting where you are.
Nice caramelized notes. Nice little rootiness. Oh yeah. Believe it or not, chocolate. There's some chocolate. Obviously, it's not in there, but there's some chocolate in there.
No, it gets woke by the bubbles for sure. The combination of
coffee.
the whiskey.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I can just see me drinking quite a few of those. and it's whiskey, and it's
Right.
and it's fortified wine, so it's winter and summer.
And
this
it's-
isn't. No matter when you drink this.
And there's tons of water in there, so it's super hydrating.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Very nice. What did you say? I would have sliced the orange tip. That's the
So
Italian in me. But
I do the orange peel a la like old fashioned. It gives it just like such a bright texture, and it really, really, really wakes it up.
Awesome, awesome. And you said which one is the preferred of your guests?
The
Here it's-
yuzu and coriander, the one we call yuzu voodoo, actually is the one that we sell quite the most of. And there's a few of our staff members that really enjoy putting it in front of our guests with a little bit of habanero tincture to give it a nice spice. It's a really fun. In fact, you might as well while you're here.
Why not?
Doesn't take much. This habanero tincture, it's potent.
Very nice.
Imagine. See, now a drink like this, you wouldn't scare me if you put half that amount of vermouth and back that up with a little bit of Aperol or
Ooh.
maybe, you know, a little
something,
Campari.
something over
I see where you're at. Hey, Campari all day.
With Campari, it would become a quasi Japanese Boulevardier highball.
Yes.
Yeah, Boulevardier ball.
Yeah, I like it. Awesome.
That's cool with the fire, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Oh, that nose on there is great.
That gives it just a little, that little touch of heat on your tongue. It's really nice. David, thank you for having us here.
My pleasure, friends.
Such a great experience. For the people out there watching this video, this wasn't intended to be the way it is. We were supposed to talk about filming a episode of the Highball at our studio at Master Glass, but as soon as we found out what's going on here at Sparrow and Wolf and that they have a Toki machine and that they have a true highball culture, I figured this would be a great opportunity. Bobby?
It was delicious. Very well done. I invite everybody to come down and try one to get that experience. And always remember, whenever you're drinking, drink smart.
Thank you. Well, thanks for watching this episode of Master Glass. And just remember, we don't talk about cocktails. We talk about traditions. We talk about culture. Thanks for watching.